£41,700. If you're gearing up for a UK skilled worker visa in 2026, that number right there, that is your absolute baseline general salary threshold. If you're actively planning your application, this number is your new reality.
So let's just dive right into this explainer. We're cutting out all the fluff today to give you the exact, comprehensive breakdown of what it takes to qualify this year. We'll look at the strict new rules, what it's actually going to cost you, how to secure that all-important sponsorship, and how this whole route ultimately leads to permanent settlement.
Here is our roadmap. First, the 2026 salary threshold. Second, sponsorship and occupations. Third, visa fees and healthcare costs. Fourth, application processing times. And finally, your pathway to settlement. All right, let's tackle part one, the 2026 salary threshold. This threshold is arguably the toughest barrier to entry right now. Basically, you've got to earn whichever is higher, £41,700 or the going rate for your specific job. But there is a bit of a silver lining. You can get a discounted threshold down to £33,400 if you meet certain criteria, like if you're under 26, a recent grad, or applying for a job specifically listed on the immigration salary list, which covers certain engineering or science roles. Now pay close attention to this because it's a massive update for 2026. Under the new pay period compliance rules, your paycheck literally cannot dip below that threshold in any single month, not even temporarily for unpaid leave, and not for salary sacrifice arrangements either. The Home Office checks this pay period by pay period now instead of just looking at your annual average.
Moving on to part two, sponsorship and eligible occupations.
Once you've got the salary sorted, bagging valid sponsorship is your next big hurdle. Think of it as a strict three-step dance. First, your employer absolutely must hold a valid sponsor license. You can't just rock up with any old job offer. Second, your role has to match an approved Standard Occupational Classification or SOC code, and most of these need to be graduate level now. And third, your employer has to formally assign you a certificate of sponsorship. That being said, there are still a few exceptions to that graduate level rule. Some sub-degree roles, like bricklayers, still get the green light under the immigration salary list. You've also got lab technicians who are eligible specifically for the health and care worker visa. Just keep in mind, roles like care workers have super restricted rules now, and some are even being phased out. So always check the live list. Okay, part three, visa fees and healthcare costs. Let's talk money. You need to know the exact financial investment required here. If you're applying from outside the UK, standard application fees are £819 for a 3-year visa, and that jumps to £1,618 if you're staying longer. On top of that, you're hit with a mandatory immigration health surcharge of £1,035 for every single year of your stay. Do the math, and that brings the jarring total cost for a standard 3-year visa to £3,924, just for one adult. And here's the kicker. If you're bringing your family, every single dependent pays that exact same amount. A family of 4 could easily be staring down a bill over £15,000. But wait, there is an exception. If you happen to qualify for the specific health and care worker visa, say by working for the NHS or a regulated care provider, that massive health surcharge is totally waived. Your 3-year cost plummets to just £324. That is literally thousands of pounds saved. Next up, part 4, application processing times. So, the application is submitted, the fees are paid. How long are you waiting? Well, standard processing times heavily depend on your location. It takes roughly 3 weeks or 15 working days if you apply from overseas. But if you're already inside the UK and you're just switching or extending, you should brace yourself for up to an 8-week wait. Now, if you're up against a tight deadline, Priority Services can speed things up to 5 working days or literally the next working day if you go for super priority. But of course, you've got to be ready to cough up the premium. We're talking an extra £500 to £1,000 on top of your standard fees. Finally, part 5, pathway to settlement, or ILR. Let's look at the ultimate long-term payoff here. After 5 years of continuous, unbroken residence in the UK on a skilled worker visa, you can apply for indefinite leave to remain. Getting ILR means you are totally free. You're no longer tied to a specific employer or subject to any of those strict visa sponsorship rules. It's definitely not automatic, though. To make it happen, you've got to keep your job, spend no more than 180 days outside the UK in any given 12-month stretch, and pass both the Life in the UK test and a B2 level English exam. Oh, and you also have to meet whatever settlement salary rules are active when you apply. Quick heads up for anyone switching over from a student visa. The time you spent studying, yeah, that doesn't count toward your 5-year ILR clock. Not a single day of it. Your 5-year settlement countdown officially kicks off on the exact day your skilled worker visa actually begins. So let's wrap this up. Between the strict €41,700 salary thresholds, the surging fees, and that zero-tolerance payroll compliance for 2026, the margin for error is basically zero. Your employer needs their license, and your role has to be a perfect fit. The rules are tougher than they've ever been. So what do you think? Are you ready to navigate this maze and lock in your application, or is it time to take a second look at your strategy?